have been, zoom, working on this water pipe here. Been taking my dead blow, mallet, what have you, and doing very gently working it and trying to get behind the tabs to get it wiggle loose. And I think I'm just about free. I'm going to finish it the last couple inches of my hand. It's much more bound up on the bottom than the top. The top came out, bottom came out. O-rings on here. If they don't tear and they're not chipped up, you should be able to reuse them without issues. Nipple part goes on the top. I do generally think it can fit only the one way, so only one way it makes sense. So you shouldn't have to worry about labeling that too much. So that's how you get rid of this. Alright, now for the cylinders themselves. You just have to go around and give it some slight taps with your mallet. Work your way around and you should be okay. We will try it. Do this in real time and see what happens. Looks like it's working alright. Get under it now. It's free. Pistons fell. Two of them anyways. Gotta get this the rest of the way. There are dowel pins in relation to the head that was taken off, the open corners, and there you go. So be mindful of them when you're taking this off. There's going to be resistance from pistons trying to make their way out the bottom. Don't want to bind it up too much, and just slide out. There's a dowel pin I'm missing in the corner. I'm guessing it's still in the head. Didn't notice it first time around. I'll take a look for it. But this is the cylinders here, and I'm dripping coolant and oil here mixed together. Lovely, and put it on the table. Okay, here are the pistons, loose motor. That's a little extra light down here if I can. You know, normal wear and tear. We'll see how they clean up. You will want to mark your pistons when you take them off so you can put them in the right place. It should be, you might want to add the arrow too. There should be one in there somewhere. Or know what side you took the circlip off to get that wrist pin out so you can take the pistons off. But, you know, just scratch a number 1 and a number 2, 3, 4, which is the same order as it is would be in the manual. This would be number 1. And go down the line. As long as you know what they are, should be fine. Then you might want to put an arrow pointing that way towards the stator, just so you know which way they go. And that should be okay. They look alright. The rings are there. Nothing's broken. I mean, not a whole lot to tell, but honestly, by me, I'm no pro as far as visual inspection goes. Looking at these bores, about impossible to tell camera-wise. I don't see any burn marks. I see cross-hatching. You know, shiny scratch mark swirls on there. But no nicks or missings of things. I'm feeling pretty confident as of right now of reusing these rings. And you cannot actually hone out these because of the liners in there. I forget what the liners are made out of. You can take like a really fine emery cloth, clean them up a little bit. There is a special hone for it, I believe, but it's not a traditional hone like you would have normally or rent, so don't do that. If you can see, my case is broken here. I had JB weld patch on there, and I took that off. I'm going to try and fix that more permanent with some, I think it's HTS 2000 I picked up a while back. But I don't think I'm going to deal with that until I get the cases in half and deal with it from there. Got to take the starter motor off. This is the charcoal canister. They're part of the emission system. Its bracket is shared with the clutch cover, so I'm not going to do that until I get to that. So I'll probably take the starter motor off and then pull the starter, clutch, and gear assembly as well, and then work on these pistons, get these removed, marked, what have you, so they can be pulled out. It's stupid, but they won't clear, so you got to take them off. You can't reuse the clips. Buy new clips. These two bolts here, 21, 22, are the stupid bolts that make you have to take the whole top end apart in order to split the case. Right there. If there was a better way around it, you wouldn't have to take this off to split it. But you'd have probably a really awkward thing to work with. You want to look here for any stretched threads. You just want to make sure the spacing's all more or less even. It's leftover gasket, don't worry about that. If they were pinched or stretched, what have you, you'd want to replace these studs. And looking at it, I'm now even more thankful I was able to get that one nut off, because it would have been a pain. I mean, I would have had to just drill all the way through the stud, I suppose, and then replace it, which would not be fun. There's dowel pins here for indexing your gasket, here and here.
and just be aware of them. And then there should be some oil squirters, which would be these here and here. They're held in with just an O-ring. You could pull them out. They might fall out on their own, so it's probably best to remove